Now, Lou, I want to correct you here for a minute. Lou is from
Wyoming, so I wasn't in Lackawanna, so I could have vote yes or no,
right.
and I could have went in there and pulled the lever for yes or no,
right?
And I think that was one of the problems with this whole thing. But Lou, you know, you're talking to Betsy Summers, who is a judge of elections in Wilkes-Barre. The same thing. I mean, under 10% of the people showed up to vote.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about that, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about. Certainly, I've heard other people suggest this, and I'm going to suggest this to folks that, you know what, maybe it's time to send a message to the Elks and the Moose Club, i.e. the donkey and elephant parties, that, you know, we've had enough. I mean, we have to start doing things that are constitutional. We know this primary, closed primary, the way it's set up is not right. I was on a radio show with another host this past week, Lou, and she had suggested that perhaps, you know, they'd be open to an open primary. And I said, hey, listen, I'm not even suggesting open primaries. Republicans and Democrats should be able to elect those. If they're part of that party, they should be able to elect those that they want to elect without having interference from people outside of their party. But it shouldn't be done on the backs of other taxpayers. And I think that's a legitimate gripe. But until people start ripping their cards up, and I'm going to suggest this, you know, we're going into Memorial Day. People that have fought for our rights. You know, I say this all the time, Lou. You know, we go over there, you know, to fight for free and equal elections, and yet here, I want people that are registered Republican and Democrat right now to think about what happens if they were not allowed to vote, if they were not allowed to participate. You know, other veterans that are not part of these clubs, that they were not allowed to participate. Is that right? I mean, when do we find, and the only reason it continues to go on is because we allow it. And Michael, that's what we were saying before. We allow this to continue to go on. By participating in these unconstitutional events, i.e. the primary. You, Lou, me, Lou, Mike, Frank, everybody that may want to participate in these things, what we're doing is we're putting our seal of approval on it, and until we send a message to our legislature and say this is fundamentally wrong. This is what we go to. This is what we're going overseas for, supposedly to fight for free and elections over there. When do we finally say enough? When do we call Senator Baker on the carpet and say thank you for co-sponsoring the bill? But when do you go to Senator Smucker and say this is disgusting? I can't be part of this group anymore if you continue to support these unconstitutional initiatives. Lou, go ahead. I'll let you finish up, and then we'll let you go.
Well, that was about it. The establishment won in our district. Establishment won big time. And we even had, you know, Virginia and I were running for the Republican committee,
right?
The county committee.
Did you make it? You made it, right?
We got crushed.
You got crushed. Come on, really?
We got crushed. We even had by we I say conservative. We had two incumbents on the committee, and they got thrown out.
Wow.
Yeah.